What we're great at is community. I think we're the best at that, surrounding entrepreneurs with community than anyone in the world. I think Utah's the entrepreneur capital of the world because of that. We started Silicon Slopes in 2015 once we realized that Utah's tech community needed more talent, more awareness to what was happening here, more capital to the state of Utah, and then just like overall attention to what was happening. Silicon Slopes is a 501c3 nonprofit. It's governed by a board of community leaders here in the state of Utah, kind of like high-level CEOs within the community. And our mission is just to empower entrepreneurs in the state of Utah to build and give them everything they need, the resources, the network, the community, and everything else that they need in order to be successful. What makes Silicon Slopes unique is we've done this a number of times. We have a rich tech history. The fourth node of the internet, and the first one outside of the state of California, was at the University of Utah. We do this. Like, we're really good at building tech. We have a rich tech history. We're not Silicon Valley. We're not trying to be, although our name is Silicon Slopes. But we're really good at this. And what we're great at is community. I think we're the best at that, surrounding entrepreneurs with community than anyone in the world. I think Utah's the entrepreneur capital of the world because of that. AI will unleash the creative aspects of humanity while taking care of all of the mundane tasks that we all have to do throughout the day. So it should make us all a lot more productive. Things like answering emails, setting up appointments, editing content, things like that, like all the crappy stuff that you just have to like do and bear down and do. AI should be able to do all of that. And now you get to focus on being creative and what do you want to build. Even in healthcare, it'll make insane strides just on making hospitals more efficient, healthcare professionals more efficient. I think you'll see AI surgeries within the next 5 years, like actual robots doing the surgeries because they can do them better and you don't have to worry if they're stayed up too late last night or anything like that, right? And so it should be game changing in every industry. Whether corporations or individuals decide to use AI or not, it doesn't matter. It is going to replace humans. It will replace jobs. What has always happened when technology like this has come in and replaced jobs is new jobs have been created on top of it to replace those. And so you got to stay open and you got to stay constantly up to date on things that are happening. How you do that is read a lot. I think reading's critical. If I were to advise students on anything, literally anything, like what they should study, it would be learn how to read and learn how to write. What AI does with reading and writing is it regurgitates or mimics things that are already out there. What it can't do is get into your mind and create something that's never been put on the internet before. The only thing AI is doing is scraping the internet and saying like, hey, I can write like Hemingway. They won't have your unique insights into the world. And so, yes, it'll be helpful. I think it'll be a tool. It already is a tool for writers and marketers and all that type of stuff. But, you're still a human being. It'll never be a human being to be able to understand and feel and think the way that you do. Education is a foundation for all of us, right? You got to be somewhat educated in what you're talking about. No matter how you get that education at university, online, YouTube, whatever, right? Like, that's great. Just keep pursuing that. I think university is really great because, again, whenever you have a community of like-minded people, all striving in the same direction, something magical is going to happen there. That's the magic of a university, is everybody's about the same, and we're all striving to get out of this place being better than when we entered, right? That's pretty interesting. And so that's the big value of a university. That's a big value of a community once you get out of university, right? The other thing I would say is, yes, be educated, and yes, have strong opinions, but have strong opinions that are loosely held, because they will change. And be open to having your opinions changed, right? And if a fact comes into your brain that makes your strong opinion no longer that strong, just accept that and keep going. I loved all my classes at UVU, honestly, because I didn't have like an idea in mind. I was just trying to like get good at communicating and get good at writing. I knew writing would be important in some way. I knew communicating would be important in some way. I took a magazine writing class. I loved it. All we did was read and we write things. That's it. I took a lot of philosophy classes. I took a lot of philosophy classes. I took a lot of psychology classes. I took a lot of English classes. UVU taught me a lot. I spent a lot of time at UVU. You should take classes that you're interested in. You should learn and continue to pursue the things and the subjects that you're interested in. If you're not interested in it, you're not going to stick with it. So I get out of college and I start working in the tech industry, and no one could tell the stories of what was happening in the state of Utah in tech. Like Deseret News wasn't covering it. None of like the local media was covering it. And tech people are not that great at telling or describing or explaining what they do, or even what their product is. And so I literally just started a blog and started writing about what's happening in tech, writing about these entrepreneurs, writing about the products that they're building. And through that blog sprouted a community. If I'm a student at UVU, I would not be worried about anything other than figuring out what I'm super passionate about and going and learning as much as possible about it and figuring out how I can make a living doing it. As a student, you need to understand, like, learning doesn't start at college and it doesn't end at college. It's a lifelong pursuit. So you need to be open-minded and think a lot and learn as much as you possibly can, because your mind will change. You should have a general direction of where you want to go, but you should probably have no opinions on how you get there, because it's not going to go the way, if you plan it all out, it's not going to go that way anyways. It's like, this is where I want to go, here's my goal, and how do we get there? I'll figure it out. Our goal is to keep Utah the entrepreneur capital of the world and keep surrounding entrepreneurs with the community, resources, capital, mentorship, events, and everything else they need in order to be successful. I don't know where tech goes in the future. It's a great question, because I wouldn't have been able to predict the past 10 years. With the advent of AI, with AI becoming more prolific here in the world, I couldn't even tell you what AI is going to look like 6 months from now. I think the progress and the growth and the innovation that's happening there is unprecedented. I think it's probably more important than the internet, what's happening right now in the AI space. And so anyone who tells you they know where tech's going to be in 5-10 years is lying to you.